Hey YouTube, it's me Elizabeth Lauren and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be about what it's like to be a military wife, part 1. I'm going to be splitting these videos up into 2 separate videos. The first video is going to be about everything up until basic training, and the second video is going to be about basic training, week 0 to week 8, phone calls, the letter process, all of it. And I'm also going to be making a separate video for what graduation is like and, the graduation ceremony, all of that. But my husband's still in basic training and he has 13 days until graduation. So until then, I'm just going to be making part 1 and 2. Also, I'm going to be looking down a lot because I made a list and I made it so that I stay on track and don't go off topic. So if it bothers you that I'm looking down, I'm really sorry, but it's just what I gotta do. Alrighty, so first off, my name is Elizabeth Lauren and my husband's name is Jeffrey. We are both 19 and we got married on May 20th, 2016 during his senior year of high school. Now, his senior year was crazy busy. He had to balance school, he worked at FedEx, he had to balance me, and he had Air Force check-ins every month. So an Air Force check-in is basically where they ask you questions, ask you what your interests are, what careers you're interested in. They weigh you, they measure you, they make you run, they work out, and it's basically just getting you prepared for basic training. So when you're going into these check-ins, your recruiter will eventually schedule you a time to go to MEPS. And first you're going to take the practice ASVAB, and then once he feels like you're ready, or he or she feels like you're ready, they're going to schedule your appointment for MEPS. Now, MEPS stands for Military Entrance Processing Station. And what it is it's basically a place where you take your ASVAB, you get a physical, you work out for them, and you basically just go through this whole process and you swear in at the end of it. So Jeffrey, I can't remember what day he went to MEPS, but before he went to MEPS, he had to stay in a hotel the day before. So he went to a hotel. The very next day, they had to get up at 5 in the morning. They weighed them, they measured them, they checked them for rashes, they checked their hearing, their vision. They had to have a physical, which is where you strip down into nothing but your boxers, and if you're a lady, it's your bra and your undies. So it's kind of awkward, but you have a physical, you gotta pee in a cup, you work out, you have to do the duck walk, push-ups, and if you're a girl, you better know how to do push-ups because I don't, and you gotta do them. So you do all of that, and then at the very end, you're gonna take the ASVAB. Now, the ASVAB is basically a test with multiple parts, and each part is timed. So there's gonna be a part about cars, there could be a part about math, history, just basic topics. And Jeffrey did so good that he had 10 pages of careers lined up for him. That's how good he did. And basically the ASVAB is like a placement test. It's going to determine what branch you're suited for. So, yeah. So I was really, really proud of him because scoring in the Air Force is a big deal, They're all a big deal. Every branch is very important, but it's a big deal for us because that's what he wanted to do. So we were really excited. So leading up to, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. So he took the ASVAB, all that, and then they swore in. Now you're going to swear in 2 times. You're going to swear in once at MEPS, and then you're going to swear in a second time at the federal building in front of all your family, and that's basically right before you ship out. So up until June 27th, which is when he had to go to the hotel before he swore in, he and I spent a lot of time together. He graduated on June 3rd, so basically from June 3rd to June 27th, we spent every day together, and I would go to work and come home and see him. And we lived together for a short amount of time because my parents actually let me stay at his grandparents' house. So yeah, it was awesome, and it was our first time as a married couple. It was our first time living together. It was our first time just being together every day, and it was great. But I knew that, the day was coming where he was going to have to swear in, and honestly, I was not ready to even think about it. And there was 2 nights where I literally cried my eyes out, and he had to hold me because I couldn't think about it. So I just tried to stay positive, try to be happy for him, and yeah, it was really hard. Anyway, so June 27th is when he went to the hotel, and we also didn't know this, but you could stay at the hotel with him once they check in and everything. You could actually stay at the hotel and spend time with them until it's time for them to go back to their room. We didn't know that, so we didn't stay. We just dropped him off, said bye, we love you, all of that. So that sucked. But we texted the whole night until it was time for him to go to bed and everything. And June 28th is when he's sworn. Now, it is a long, long day. Or at least it was for us. And I'm about to tell you why. So be prepared for that. We had to drive to the federal building in Dallas, which was a whole ordeal because me and Jeffrey's family had no idea where we were going. So, yeah, that was fun. Anyway, so we went to the federal building, and it's a big white building. It literally says federal building on it, and I was like, really? It's right there. How do we not see it? So we went to the building. We went through security, and make sure you bring your driver's license with you or some form of ID, because if you don't, you're not going to get past security. And that's only if you're 18 and up, by the way. So anyway, so we brought our ID, went through security, went in the elevators, and went to the 4th floor, which they'll tell you that when you're going in. And right as the doors open, I saw Jeffrey, and I was like, "Bae, aw, there he is." But we couldn't talk to him because they didn't have our paperwork filed correctly, and so he was still filed as single, and I wasn't on his dependent. And basically, being his dependent means he's going to get paid more money, and he is also an E3 rank instead of an E1. Now, he signed up for an E3 rank because he wanted more money, and he wanted to sign up for 6 years because he actually wants to make a career out of the Air Force. So if you want to get paid more, you can actually sign up as an E3 rank. You're ranked higher than the people that you're coming in with, and you get paid more. So that's what he did. So you had to fill out all that paperwork, and right when you walk in, there's a little locker area, and then there's this little machine, not a machine, little computer area where you type in your name and the date, and you basically print out a little sticker that you just put right here. You gotta wear it if you're a guest, so print that out. There's little lockers on the side. There's a waiting room. There's a couple rooms on the side for all the people that are joining the military, and they can play games. They have, They had the Xbox, PlayStation. They had all that in those little rooms, and it was cool. And there's also a cafeteria. Now, since the waiting room, or the waiting area, was packed pretty much, we went to the cafeteria and waited. And for a while we couldn't talk to Jeffrey because he was getting all the paperwork done, but eventually we did get to talk to him. And we talked to him all the way up until it was time for him to line up to swear in. And they'll, call everybody that's about to swear in, and they'll tell you, and if you're on this list, they're going to tell you to line up, and then you go into the room. Immediately, once they go into that room, you better be right there behind them, because if you don't get in that room, you're not going to be able to see them. Because there's literally like a little stage area, and then the guys or girls that are all going into the military are right here, and they're all lined up in rows, and then you have a little bit of space on the side. So if you don't hurry up and get in there, you are not going to get in, because the door closes and everybody else has to watch from the back, so you can't see anything. You have to go around the room and then basically see the back of their head the whole time. So I'm just saying, as soon as they go in there, you better be right behind them. Anyway, so he swore in. It was about 5 to 10 minute ceremony thing. It wasn't too long. And it was actually it was actually probably less than that, but it was really cool. You know, they swore in, they repeated what this lady said, and it was really cool. She was really nice. She talked to them about college, telling them to, you know, be an active member and, you know, sign up for classes, study, you know, do everything you can to stand out, basically. Which is very important because if you are just getting by in the military, they're going to kick you out. So it's important to, you know, do what you can. Take college classes, like, it's free. Take the opportunity. Anyway, so she was just talking to them about that, and then after the ceremony, we got to talk to Jeffrey for another hour, and the whole entire time I was grabbing onto his arm because I was like, you're not leaving me. Like, no, it's not happening. So I was really, you know, I was trying to stay positive, but I was starting to get upset. I was starting to realize that, he's about to leave me. Like, cool, this is awesome. Anyway, before they leave, they have you line up to get a sack lunch and take the lunch, okay? Because this is the last time you are gonna get a sack lunch with Oreos or cookies or Lay's potato chips. It's gonna be the last time you get a snack before you're in basic training. So, take it, okay? Because Jeffrey actually had a cool bus driver, and they went to Golden Corral before they went to the San Antonio airport. But I'm telling you, you may not get that chance, so take the lunch, eat it, okay? You're going to get a sandwich, you're going to get water, you're going to get some cookies, and you're going to get chips. Jeffrey got Oreos and he got Lay's, so yeah. Anyway, so after they ate and talked a little bit more, I forgot the exact time. It was 11, I want to say 11:20, 11:30, but around that time, you know, yeah, it was about 11:20. Around that time, they called him, had him lined up, and they left. You didn't get a lot of time to tell them you love them. You could basically give them a hug, and they had to be in that line, and they were going. So then they went, and they got all their stuff together, they lined up, and we wanted to actually see Jeffrey get on the bus, so we were waiting outside with all the other families, but we didn't realize that this bus was for Army. So all the Air Force families that was waiting with us, we were like, oh dang. So as soon as that bus left, we saw the Air Force people all lined up on the side of the building, so we automatically went over there. So their bus was late, like so late that they had to call and be like, dude, where are you? Like, they didn't really say dude, but they were like, where are you? You're putting us behind. Like, this is so unprofessional. So the bus was late, which is good news for me because I got to talk to Jeffrey for a long time. Bad news for everyone else who actually wanted to go ahead and go to basic training and begin all that. So, yeah. Anyway, so bus was late. By this time, a lot of the families had decided they were just going to go since they knew the bus was late. And part of Jeffrey's family stayed, as in me, Jeffrey's grandpa, and his sisters, but the rest of the family decided to go ahead and go to the restaurant and wait on us because it started to rain. So Jeffrey and all of the people that were going to be on the bus with him went to the back, and me, his grandpa, and his sisters followed behind him, and we stood under this awning while it's pouring down rain. So I was talking to Jeffrey for the longest, and then his grandpa was like, yeah, well, we gotta go too because the bus isn't here yet. So it sucked because I really did want to see him get on the bus, but yeah, and I did not want to go. Like, oh my gosh, literally, right when we got to the restaurant, I went into the bathroom, went into the stall, and bawled my eyes out. And then I was like, oh my god, I gotta pull it together because if I go back to the table and they ask me, are you okay, I'm gonna bawl again. So I had to pull myself together, went to the table, ate dinner with his family, and we drove back to their house. I got all my stuff, told them thank you for letting me stay, and then right when I got in my car, right when I'm driving home, started bawling. Like, literally started crying. And people were looking at me as they were passing me like, what the fuck? Like, why are you crying? Like, bitch, are you crazy? Like, what's wrong with you? And I was just like, zero cares, okay? Like, my husband left me, I'm bawling my eyes out, I don't care. And that's not a good combo, by the way. Driving and crying, no good. So anyway, another thing that was good is I got to talk to Jeffrey all the way up until he got to the San Antonio airport, which was awesome because I did not think he was going to be able to text me, but we did. And he stopped at Golden Corral, so I got to talk to him there. And it was cool because he was already starting to make friends. Because when he was waiting in line, he was already talking to some guy and some other guy. So I was like, cool, yay, he's going to make friends. Like, yay. Because I was worried about that. I was like, is he going to make friends? Is he going to have people to talk to? But anyway, once he got to the San Antonio Air Force Base, or airport, then they went through all the security and all that, got on another bus, and drove to Lackland. And it began. So, part 2 will explain what Jeffrey's going through right now, the phone calls, the letters, what you'll be sent in the mail, all the way up until graduation. And I'll also be making a graduation video, like I said. Also, if you want to hear about courthouse weddings or see how I did this makeup look, please comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.